In early October, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees held this high-level 66th Executive Committee meeting in Geneva. Under international law, states have an obligation to grant protection to refugees fleeing conflict and persecution. The participants agreed that the international humanitarian community not only must increase its awareness of the refugee crisis, but specifically increase their action.
We need to increase burden sharing. And that is exactly where the Order of Malta sees a particular role. As a religiously based institution, we believe that local faith-based organizations should be included much more in these relief efforts in emergency situations. Local communities are close to the population. They are there when the disaster hits, and they remain after the international organizations have left.
10 years ago, there were 38 million people in the world displaced by conflict and persecution. Today, there are more than 60 million refugees, asylum seekers, and internally displaced persons worldwide as a result of conflict and persecution. Father Frans Thoolen, an expert on migration and refugees for the Holy See mission delegation, emphasized that many refugees return to their home country and that migration has always existed. His home country is a prime example.
The royal family in the Netherlands, they were boat people. They left in 1940 when the war started with Germany, when Germany invaded. The Queen left for Great Britain, and her daughter and the granddaughter, Beatrix, they went to Canada by boat. So I can say that there is a family of boat people, and they did quite well later. One became a queen, the other one also became queen, and the great-grandson, he's king now of the Netherlands. But in the history of family, they were boat people. It can happen to anybody of us.
In his closing remarks, the High Commissioner said that this is both a migration and refugee crisis, and that it is a special moment in time, and while it was very difficult in the past to put the refugees' problems in the international community's agenda, it became now the center.
I just came from New York, and the number of meetings in which refugees were at the center of the discussions, the number of declarations from the Pope to the President of the United States to all political leaders having the refugee issue in the center of their statements, demonstrates that now there is an opportunity to translate the fact that refugees are in the center of the agenda, to create the conditions for that agenda centrality to transform itself into a real commitment to address the plight of the refugees themselves.
The High Commissioner said also that he believes that tolerance and solidarity run deeply in the hearts of humanity, and that these values are the strongest tools and best protection to face the challenges ahead.